Uh, Capo. It's so easy for us to get lost, right? Lost in love. I'm a grown man, I can tell you the truth. Hey Peter, I almost fell myself. When it get cold, it get cold. Something like Canada. I guess you can feel me on that one, right? You know.
Charles, could I say something there when it comes to, because you
Yeah, I was
mentioned,
going to throw to you next, Reggie. I was going to throw this
no,
question to
no,
you.
no, no, no. You mentioned the word, Mahuli, Troy, y'all dropped some serious gems today, especially on vision and being entrusted with that, with that vision. But accessibility, I feel like we need to do a better job at it. We talk about it,
Mhm.
but we don't do it.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is. It's like people feel like, they talk about that, they use that B word a lot when it comes to boundaries. But
Mm.
instead of using boundaries to kind of manage and allocate your energy and time, think about the impact that you could have. If a DM comes into your inbox, someone's looking for your help or looking for some insights, be open to that
Mhm.
and pay it forward. But I feel like our community is so tight. We don't like open up. We're like, okay, well, I'm on my grind. I'm focused. I don't need any of the distractions. But people discount the opportunity when it comes to actually pay value forward. And I feel like we fall short big time on accessibility.
I do too. I do too. I completely agree. I feel, again, that's why I think we need to be able to have these forums, you know what I'm saying, where mans can come together and talk about these things openly. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully that fosters future discussions with other people. It will make all of us in here more susceptible to seeing someone who could benefit from our knowledge. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm hoping happens here. That each of us opens up a little bit because we got opened up today. I learned a bag of shit already. You know what I'm saying? So I hope that I now can take this knowledge that I've gained from my peers and my brethrens and be sharing with it and be generous with it. You know what I mean? I don't want to, like, I think you were just saying, you like, we kind of are stingy with what we decide to put forward. You know what I mean? Part of it is the Toronto in us. Part of it is the black in us. You know what I mean? We don't want to give away what we barely have. You know what I'm saying? But we can't be like that. We got to be generous with this information. You know what I'm saying? We got to be generous with the energy that we have because our energy is beautiful and powerful. We should share it. You see what I'm saying? So I'm glad to have this conversation here. And I think those things are definitely things that can help kind of strengthen our community. You know what I mean? Definitely. Definitely. So let's keep it on moving. The next person I'm going to throw to, I think this question actually really fits for you, Corwin. So maybe you can give us a little bit of insight here. Just again, because you are, like I mentioned in the beginning, you have a really great perspective on the entire spectrum of culture. You know what I'm saying? From one end, from the very wealthy, luxurious, hoity toity to the roadmans. You know what I'm saying? You can see it all. So, with that being said, give us a little bit of an idea of how do you see your work that you do affecting current culture, like social culture, whatever that is, and how do you feel sometimes that that social culture affects your work?
1 second, I had a here. 1 sec, one.
Oh, did you chip out there for a sec?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now we can. Now we can. We can't see you though.
Yeah, okay. Can you hear me now, right?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Still hear me?
Here you There we go. I can hear you, I think.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Sorry, no, I had a bad connection. I didn't get the remainder of your question.
Yeah, yeah. So I'll just restate the question again. So just like again, so I'm asking, how do you perceive the work that you do affecting current culture, and how do you feel current culture affects your work?
Mm, think back to what I was saying. I think grassroots became influencer culture, and it influencers just became accessible through digital times and everything. We wanted so much more, and I think we're going back to basics, where you're just going to be like what Troy said, just around better quality people. I think less is more. I think we all have the innate part in us, and Reggie said a bit of it. I think sometimes, accessibility is okay, but sometimes you're too over accessible, and energy is very transferable, man. It's like you only can do so much. And I'm only going by me because, I was a party promoter at one time. Can you imagine getting like inbox of 3,000 and text message of 20 and phone calls of 40? I get it. It's like being a headhunter. You have to filter it through, and you have to sometimes let people do the work. I'm always open to like that 15-minute phone call, but you can't give away all your time for it not being. They said if you don't pay for it, you don't pay attention. If you don't pay attention, you usually don't listen, right? Or pay for it, usually don't listen. But I mean, it's just screening, balancing it, and just back to basics, just being in those smaller rooms, and just really, it's really intuition.
Mhm.
The intuition.
Right. And so do you feel that having to make those decisions and try and do those things, do you feel that the current culture and the current environment is conducive to it, or do you feel it hampers it? Do you feel it makes it tougher, or does it make it easier?
It's a bit of a shift. I think, Ryan, we all work with agencies. I think the ones that are directing culture aren't the culture, and it's kind of harder for us to get in the rooms where it matters. Like we all matter on the ground on our grassroots levels, but when are we going to really get in? I think the difference between here in the US, and I've traveled there a lot, is that they have fraternities, and their Black is American first, whereas ours is like we're West Indian first. We say where our parents are from first.
That's true.
So our battle's a bit different here. I was online with some recruitment from a very big company the other day, and you would think that with multi-billion-dollar company, they call you for recruitment, they have a budget, and they were like Black man too. The optics were 3 Black guys, 1 white guy, and they were called diversity and inclusion talent recruiters out of the US. And the guy gets on the phone and says, I see you've been doing great work. They discovered me. I've done work with like Jordan, Nike, all these different brands, and they called upon me, NDA, and they're like, we're looking for Black African Americans in Canada to help us with this recruitment. And had no budget whatsoever for it. They were looking at it from like a community aspect. And I'm like, if you want this to continue, it's like pay the community.
Yeah, exactly.
I just wish I had the power to call them out. I wish I did.
Yeah.
But we're not financially there yet because we still have to get into rooms, right?
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Let me throw the same question to you, Ryan. How do you feel about this question? Like, how do you feel that, or how do you see your stuff that you do affecting the community, affecting culture, and how would you like, or how do you find culture affecting you in what it is that you do?
I guess it's like multi-tiered from from one way. I like you see people that are regular people wielding power and influence these days, right? It's not a machine created box to like pop out a group like Backstreet Boys or NSYNC with like marketing numbers that suggest that people are gonna like this. Like it's just regular people emerging. So I think that's how we influence culture, is like there's this discovery that people are more inclined to listen to someone that they can relate to. And we decide for ourselves who we relate to. And then also being Black, I mean, I am culture, right? Like everybody in this room is culture. Like you know, you watch any television and like years of watered down language, things that are just like in the popular lexicon, it's like all us. Everything literally that moves any kind of needle anywhere is basically us,
Yeah.
right? So I think, you know, that's the way personally I know I affect culture. And then how culture affects me is more like, you know, responses to just how the world's moving. Like my job is to understand what's trending, what people are going to be into, hopefully. So for me, I pay close attention to you know what should be next. I guess that's my short answer for that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And again, it's about perception. It's being able to perceive these things and being able to see them as they're happening and being like, how do I navigate this? At least now I've navigated. I haven't run into it like the Titanic and the iceberg. I see it, but now how do I navigate this thing? You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it can be tough. Sometimes it can be tough because the current cultural environment isn't very friendly to us all the time. We're forcing the hand, we're forcing everybody's hand now. So you kind of have to either decide which side of your fence you're on. You can't play both sides anymore. But it's still, I wouldn't say 100% friendly to us. You know, I am actually interested in hearing this answer from Danny as well. Danny, why don't you talk to us a little bit about the stuff that you do? And again, how you feel you want your work to affect everyone, and how do you feel that that culture is affecting the work that you do?
Yeah, I mean, I'm around a lot of young people. I work with, a lot of young people in different communities across the GTA, work with a lot of young entrepreneurs, young people starting their own businesses. And so like, I'm getting all of that, mobile hair salons and, you know, um, uh, car detailing, but we play, our music and we show up in your neighborhood. So I'm around a lot of like really, cool and engaged young people who are like probably moving the needle in terms of, the types of businesses that young people can own, right? And so for me, that kind of affects me in a way where I'm seeing their energy, I'm seeing their enthusiasm, and then I look at someone who's been doing what they've been doing for a long time in their profession, and they become stagnant. And I always think about the quote from Miles Monroe. Your job is not your work, right? Your job is what you get paid for. Your work is what you were born for. And a lot of people confuse the both of them. We confuse it. Oh, because I've been doing this for 15 years, this must be the thing I'm meant to do. And so you lose the passion and you become stagnant, you become bitter because it's like, these brothers on this call were brave enough to make a leap, and that's them. They're the chosen ones, but I just have to sit here and suffer. And so I get that energy from these young people who are like on the cutting edge of moving things forward and whose parents told them they could be anything they wanted to be, but slaved it out in a job for 20 or 30 years and came home and complained about that every minute, right? So I'm with these young people who are still listening to their parents complain about their jobs, and I'm seeing how they're starting to influence their parents. Early retirements and starting a little side hustle and let's take a vacation. We never left the city before, but now we're actually getting on a plane. So I'm seeing how that is all young people are transforming their parents in the next generation and telling them to take their foot off the gas and start to enjoy yourself. So I'm taking that and incorporating that, a lot of those things into speaking at schools and businesses and coaching. I'm like, listen, you are the driver of your life. Right? You're not a passenger, you're the driver. And just reminding people of that, seeing all this energy and what's happening with the culture and how things are really getting moved forward. You can do anything that you want to do. There's YouTubers making money. There's video games that sign NBA teams like they're real NBA teams, and they're getting paid $200,000-$300,000 to play on a video game sports team, right? So I think it's that we have to get back to just seeing that anything is possible for us, man. And that's what I'm getting from the culture, the energy, the vibrance, the don't quit, let's restart. And that's what I'm trying to put out there.
I love it. I love it. And that's proper things. That's proper things. All right. I think for this next question, It doesn't necessarily have to be a super long answer. So, but I do actually kind of want to get an idea from everybody. So I think these last couple questions, I would like to go through everybody and get their ideas about it. Just because, again, I don't think it's a super long answer, but I think it's valuable because I feel like all of this work that we've been doing and all of this hardships that we've been going through and trials and tribulations and rewards and successes is all towards an end goal. We all are trying to work towards something. You know what I'm saying? So I feel it's important for us all to hear and identify what some of those end goals are. You know what I mean? So that we can see that this is the road, that this is the finish line at the end of the road that we're all striving for. And if I feel like that finish line is worthwhile to me, maybe it's something that I can get involved with as well. So I do feel that this part is important, and I would like everybody to try and maybe give a little bit of a quick answer. So my question, we'll start back at the top of the list with Ryan. Um, if resources were not an issue, so money, people, all that stuff. If resources were not an issue for you, how do you envision the perfect final form of your endeavors? So, like, if this was Dragon Ball Z, how do you go Super Saiyan 4 on everybody? You know what I'm saying? What is the perfect final form for your vision? Are you on mute?
My bad. So, as we kind of spoke to in the previous question, I had said that, I am culture. We are culture. If I could do anything, it's almost like an updated, modern reparations. But we're not talking about slavery. We're talking about this capital that, people have made money off of our ideas and our energy and our ability to be resilient. Everything. I would love to be able to create a space where I could just make sure that younger people of color are compensated like fairly, and that whatever blood and sweat went in years previous, that all comes back. Like I said, I find myself in a position that I would technically not be qualified for. If it was if I had to go to an office to apply for what I do, they would say, no, you don't have enough experience, technical ability. So to be able to kind of let younger people know that there's so much that's possible without having to check certain boxes, because the boxes weren't written for us, right? Nope. So I mean, for me to be able to pass on like any knowledge opportunity, so it would be teaching. It would be me falling back, not having to go to a restaurant unless I'm actually hungry. And I would just kind of be teaching young people, because like I said, there's so many more I come into contact with that are way more equipped than me to do what I do. So I know if I could shine, they'll blind everything.
For sure. That's positive, bro. That's wicked. I'd love to see you try and bring up the youth them. That's proper. Danny, what about you, my bro? What is the perfect final form for your endeavors? How do you see the marathon finishing?
Yeah, for me, I want everybody to I use this acronym. It's called Raise a Bar, ABAR. Raise your level of asking for what you want.
Okay.
Raise your level of believing that maybe it's possible. Take action that you've never taken before and be consistent. And then the last R is receiving. Be ready to receive the opportunity and the blessing when it comes. So raise a bar, raise your level of asking for what you want, believing that it's coming to you or it's a possibility, taking action in different type of action you've never taken before in a consistent way, and then receiving, being ready to receive the opportunity and the blessing when it comes. And I find many of us just set the bar so low that if we fell over our goal today, it wouldn't change our life in any way. Mm-hmm. And so we have one goal like that, 2, 1,000, and our life moves nowhere because we achieve these goals because we're afraid to raise a bar. And so that's my hope, that people can see that there's an inner champion within them. They quiet the inner critic and bring out the inner champion, mm-hmm. and start to see things and take action on things that they never thought were possible. And the other thing is just do one, the rule of one. Just once you have this knowledge and information and this newfound kind of mindset. We were talking about mentorship and access. Just make up your mind to help one person.
Okay.
See, we get overwhelmed because we're like, I'm not Les Brown. I can't do 80,000 people at a dome. I'm not Tony Robbins. And so we start to think when somebody says, come and lend your expertise and your knowledge and just share something, you're thinking, I'm not these guys. But what if you just help one person? Like one person helped you. It's the rule of one. Just focus on one person. I am not a writer, but I have 2 books out. I wrote my book, You Have the Keys Now Drive, in 2014, knowing in the back of my mind, my teachers in high school told me I was a horrible writer. I've always been laughed at with my writing in university, but I decided to write a book. Why? I wrote the book. I'm nervous about putting my words out there. One day I hear God say, just help one person.
Yeah.
And ever since then, I just focus on helping one person because that one person is surrounded and has a ripple effect. So just the rule of one, raise a bar and remember just one, the rule of one, help one person.
Yeah, that's noble. That's noble, man. Like I wouldn't have thought about it like that. Like I maybe put things too far ahead of myself and I want to affect 1,000 people. I want to affect an entire culture. But maybe I need to start with just helping that one person that in itself can be a final goal. You know what I'm saying? Making sure that person gets helped. And yeah, for sure. That's incredible. Mahuli, what about for yourself? If resources were not an issue for you, what would you envision your final perfect endeavors to be? How would you like to see your work be done at the end? You know what I mean? What's the best form of it?
Question. I never really thought about it. I think a good life for me is, and my legacy will be all the people that I touch.
Right.
I don't think it's going to be a tangible thing. I think it will be, I think my work for me is all the people that I touch and who are affected and influenced by whatever it is that I did, that's the work. My work is just to be a conduit to be used by God and hopefully along the way, people will be touched, moved, and inspired.
Exactly. Exactly. That's it. That's it. It doesn't have to be any more complicated than that. Shamar, what about yourself, my bro? How do you how if resources weren't an issue for you, what do you envision as the perfect form of your work? How do you see it all ending? How when it goes perfect for you?
Honestly, I wouldn't say resources is the issue. Like for me, obviously, like my job is relying a lot on the material that I use to do the work, right? So the resources aren't really the issue. I would more say a leveled playing field, because a lot of these jobs, these big contracts, you drive downtown Toronto, you see all these condos going up constantly, whatever, right? They have their set people, their contractors, they work on it, and it's always the same ones over and over. So it's how do you kick down those doors to get in and be like, hey, you're using my company for this contract to do this, other than these guys they've been using for the last 20 years, right? Because they keep their same people in their tight-knit circle and keep using the same people over and over, right? And
Yeah.
and a lot of those government jobs too, a lot of stuff is political too, right? So you're in the hands of the pockets of politicians and stuff too, right? So they have their people, right? And it's like breaking those barriers are hard.
Yeah, that's an amazing goal to have, like to give that level playing field to us all. Because a lot of us, again, like you're saying, are not afforded those things, and
No,
those
no,
stay within very tight circles. You know what I mean?
definitely.
So
And they have their little scandals and whatnot, so they're backdoor people. They know who they got to use, right? So
yeah, man. Yeah, man. For sure. For sure. That's it. Kevin, what
Yes,
about
sir.
you? So if you didn't have to worry about resources, you didn't have to worry about money, you didn't have to worry about nothing, what would be the perfect final form for Kevin Carrington?
As far as my broadcasting career, I mean, I feel like I've worked at every network in Toronto as now that I've been at CBC. The only one I have not worked for is G. But I mean, as far as like when I start getting into the twilight of my career, I would love to probably just, host my own show, which I've done before, but I want to do it post everything that I've done to kind of use all those experiences to kind of help, you know, tell stories different than the way they're being told right now. I think you can see in the landscape of broadcasting right now, things are changing. Um, Brandon Gonez, Gurdeep Balawalia, Pooja Honda, all within the last 6 weeks and these are major players in broadcasting here in the city, still relatively young, who said, you know what, it's time for a change, and I'm going to do it now before someone else tells me to do it. So I mean,
Before you get
that's
that tap on the
yeah,
shoulder.
and for anybody who wants to have some insight as to why these individuals would walk away from what all of us would, some people consider to be a dream job, it wasn't the end all be all for them. And right now, the one thing that we've all learned in the pandemic is like, when are you going to make a change? Like, if it's not going to be now, when? Like, what more of a wake up call do you need other than what we're going through right now? So as far as my broadcasting career, that's where that is. I would love to, in the twilight of my career, maybe just close things out, just doing voiceovers, doing voiceovers, I've never really done a cartoon sitcom or anything like that. So those are things I would like to do.
That'd be sick.
I've always branded myself as a person that if I can't be of help, I don't want to be around. And what's one of the things I really love about, everything I do, I stay in shape. I'm hosting events. I'm the giver of information. And I part of the reason why I'm able to do that is because I do stay in shape. Secondly, I want to be that giver of information. If you can't understand what I'm saying, then you're not going to understand it at all. And as far as getting in front of kids and students, that is huge, because I recognize now as an adult, I'm 47, father of 4, and I recognize, although I didn't acknowledge at the time, the influence that people had on my way up. So helping kids, and with me doing my classes in schools, it's not the reggae music, it's not the music at all. It's that opportunity, while I have their attention, to not only show them and teach them about Caribbean culture and music and whatnot, but also show them that people that look like me can be these people that are up in front of you, being the givers of information. One thing I've been saying to myself is that, I'm Black and I can do whatever I want. And for some people that's like, whoa. And I've seen other people I've said that to, and it looks like I've struck fear in their eyes. But I think it's very, very important that people that look like us are in front of students and showing them that doesn't matter what field it is, we are at the forefront of these industries always. It's just that quite often what happens is when it gets to the point that it's being told to you at a school level, it's been, whitewashed, or it's been whatever you want to call it. Yeah. So for me, that's it, just to continue to, just show kids and show students that, people of color are at the forefront of, the technology and music, and not just sports and, and rap music and whatnot. We're everywhere. We're doing everything. Exactly. So just be able to continue to do that, good health, and raise my family. That's it.
You touched a lot of good pillars, Kevin. I'm just going to touch on it. And I think we all are kind of like have been in the same space. I know we're all doing kind of the same thing, but what are we doing different? And I think, to Kevin's point, a lot of the pipeline that I got, and he got, is through the gym. You meet a lot of people there. And one point was like, you didn't meet them there because they were great. You met them there because they're going through things, and then I've been part of Good Life 20 years, and a lot of it came through there.
Yeah. And I mean, the same question to you, Corin. If resources weren't an issue for you and you didn't have to worry about money, or you didn't have to worry about any of those things, what would you envision the perfect form of your business, of your endeavors? How would you like to see that turn out?
I just, like Troy said, I'm 43 now and I'm just doing it now. I think I've always wanted to do it. Was the only thing is you thought of it with overhead, but always just have like a community center, or like I would have always loved when my dad retired at like 65, and we wanted to open like a Black coffee shop, and it would have served like Milo and black cake and cassava pudding and stuff. But when we did the numbers,
why has this not happened yet? Why has this not happened yet?
When we did the numbers, it would have just been even. You would have been running it just to pay yourself to be tired. And I've worked hospitality. It's a burnout. It's 20-hour days, no time for family. So I think now we're kind of just, and again, what I'm building is just that accelerator space. Creating connectives to partnerships and culture, and just amplifying that, building it and connecting the dots. Some of it, a little bit of it is recruitment, but it's just like a sports agent of life,
A
To
sports
to
agent
piggyback
of
on
life.
Yeah,
Love it.
or relationship concierge, you know, that's basically what it is.
to piggyback on what he's
I
saying, one of the
love
things I would have loved to have done, and prior to the pandemic, I was looking to do is I wanted to have a Black-owned event space or banquet hall here in the city of Toronto. I feel that we are the movers and shakers here in the city, and we don't own any of the buildings, and it's kind of done by design. But and in asking a lot of people, I've worked and managed a lot of banquet halls and whatnot. And when I asked these guys, you know, about, you know, showing me the ropes, because I've always been a person, I never went to school for broadcasting. I didn't go to school for acting. You know, I just put myself around people who I felt was doing a good job. And then I put my Kevin on it. And I wanted to do the same thing with banquet halls. I did everything at a banquet hall, from bartending to managing to marketing. And then when I went to go ask these guys, they're straight up, they're like, why would you want to do that? It's so stressful. It's so hard. But tell you what, why don't you bring your clients to my banquet hall? And then I even had one place tell me, hey, bring all your clients to my banquet hall. And then after a year, we will assess, you know, the contribution that you gave to our banquet hall, and we'll see if but what would you think would happen after that year? They would take all of my contacts
That's it.
from New Year's to New
Yeah.
Year's, and then they would undercut
Yeah.
me. So that was one of the other things I would love to do, a Black-owned event space, so that I can go to little mom and pop church groups and I can give them a discount and maybe have them have their event for free, because I know that when the big corporate people come, I can hit them hard because they're going to want to be in our event space because we're where things are happening.
And that kind of happened with even JCA. I think when they first got the building, it was like $1 a year for until a certain year, and then you have to take over the lease. And then here we are now trying to fundraise for it and can't even keep the light on most of the time.
Yeah.
See, and that should never be. I mean, with the amount of contacts that the JCA has and the amount of personalities that have been through and cultivated their careers through there, they shouldn't have that problem. They should own that whole strip.
Here's why it's a problem. I'm not here to vent, but a lot of times I'm glad we're that middle generation to help save it. But you know, our people before us, they fight over titles. They fight over trustee and vice president and that shift, and then the message and the vision and the mission gets lost.
Yeah.
And then it goes down and then down and then down. And then it's like, we're fighting over money. Then we're fighting over position. And then we're fighting over, I'm going to start my own. Like, we have how many nonprofits in Toronto that are Black? Couldn't it just be back to one? Why do we have to have 50 groups and 50 different, you know, a lot of these nonprofits are run through grants. So it's not even a business.
Yeah.
It's just the business is the grant. And then what's going to happen in 4 years from now, they're going to back calculate and say the 400 million was spent, but nothing was made out of it. You know?
Yeah. Troy, let me throw it to you. That last question. So if you had no worries about resources, no worries about funding, no worries about money, what would you envision the perfect form of your endeavors to be?
Man, it's funny, but it's a Bible story, but at the end of it, the master replied, he said, well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful with a few things. I put you in charge of many things. Come and share in your master's happiness. So the end goal is for me, man, just to like help as much people as I can, man, and just be grateful, thankful every day. And like, you know, I am even without those things. So it's just to like, I would love to have a compound, you know what I mean? Like Todd Perry's studio, where dreams are believed, you know what I'm saying? So that when people come there, like they can believe in their own dreams, you know what I'm saying? Like I want to help them produce their thing and write their thing. And I just want to, because sometimes like, even though the hope is in here, a lot of times you find hope in a person seeing them in flesh, and you know what I mean? Which is why we have our mentors in our head, people that we believe in. So I want to be a beacon of light and like also like light candles in people, man. That's all I want to do. So and you know, and like one of the brothers said before, just even by helping one, you know, and like I'm gonna continue to do that every day. And yeah, if resources, all that kind of stuff, whatever was not a problem, it would definitely, you know, be us having this conversation in Dubai on me on my private jet. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I definitely want to just be able to like reach everybody, man, at the end of the day. And just, you know, one of my side things for me one day is I want to have a homeless shelter. I want to be able to help the homeless community. It's something that I've spoken about many times, and my heart bleeds for that and like mental health. One of my best friends, maybe I don't know if you remember Scott Baker from high school.
I
Yeah,
do.
yeah. Fortunately, he has schizophrenia. You know what I'm saying? And like his life is taking a big turn. So it's just like I wanna hopefully one day be able to help people like that. And if it's not, physical help, it's financial. Like how can we do more things to help people like that? So those are some of my things that I would really definitely want to do.
Amazing. And I'm really glad I asked this question and I made everybody answer this question because I wanted us all to see that I think a lot of these end goals that we have are not impossible, definitely not impossible. And I like seeing that a lot of us have similar goals. You know what I'm saying? We all kind like Corn was saying, we're kind of all in the same space and we're kind of all doing the same thing. We're doing a few things different, which keep us on different paths. But I still think our end goal for a lot of us here are similar things. We want to have a fair platform for everybody. We want to give people opportunities to do better for themselves. Like, you know what I mean? We just want to help people in any way that we can. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like seeing that answer is almost the same from each one of us. I think that should be motivating for us not only to work together but to work towards a similar goal, which I think is possible. And I think we have the talent and the strength of character amongst us here to make something amazing happen. You know what I'm saying? And I'm super super glad that all of you came through tonight and we all our stories and voiced our truths. And I'm glad to have heard it from each and every one of you. So, just to kind of end the conversation, I definitely want to give everybody an opportunity to talk about what they have coming up and what we can help each other be involved in, how we can spread the word for one another. So, let's just quickly go down the list of who we have in here so we can just quickly say, what do you have coming up? That is the question. So, let's start with you, Ryan. What do you have? What do you have coming up? Where can we help support you, my bro? You're on mute again.
I should be used to this. I should be used.
Yeah,
to
yeah.
Actually, I'm used to not muting during the entire night. That's because I usually co-hosting. I don't know. I was saying, Corbin, we're gonna have a Spring Hill meeting soon.
Yeah.
So just quickly and God willing, there's a project that has been put forth to me, pitched for a show for hopefully either Netflix or Amazon. So throw those pairs up. We start to shoot in fall, some testing episodes to see if we could get this thing to move. So yeah, that's the big thing. And just again, Sean, thanks for putting this together. This was so beneficial and helpful. I usually try to be selfless and like leave a space. If I go somewhere, like I try to leave it better than it was when I got there. But selfishly today, I'm leaving better. You know what I mean? After this, I'm leaving better. So
then that makes me feel good, my bro. That makes me feel good. This was all about.
I mean, for everybody, just everybody sharing, this is big. Like a couple of us went to school together. There's connections everywhere. And I think, man, like if we had this, Kevin said it earlier, like certain opportunities, like you said, he would own Zoom. Like if we had this back then, you know what I mean? Or just the confidence to know that we could speak to each other like this and lift each other up like this and not be like judged by it or called soft or weird or like, I think that's a big thing I would love to try to, I don't want to wait for the end of my career to normalize, loving each other straight up. Like we have to really normal and be not tolerate it or, oh, it's okay, but like loving each other. Straight up. You always show so much love at the end of all these, and to know that like you could pull this group of people together is not shocking. You know what I'm saying? So just big love to everybody for doing this and taking this time. This was so valuable. As far as we can all go or as we are at, you can never stop adding value. So I appreciate y'all for this, everybody, man.
I said the same, and because Ryan said my name, I'm gonna say I'm doing nothing right now, nothing planned, just so I can do something. And I'm really just taking a pause. I'm meeting a few of you right now, but I've been up to date with almost all of what you're doing. Crossfield and I, we've crossed paths. Big up Fluid nightclub. That's really where we met. Maui, I don't know what else you do, but I'm definitely looking for somebody that handles digital
What's
marketing.
a nightclub?
Fluid?
What's a nightclub?
Yeah. Alfred.
I used to old timers used to talk about them places.
It's
Alfred
Bible
too.
study.
Yeah.
Oh, now I get
Yeah.
it. Okay. Now I
Yeah. Alfred, I was trying to get Alfred a gig even a few months ago, and I didn't even know that he was part of Heightened Chef until that time. So basically my three-way pillar is always connecting the dots through experiences like this, where we're right there. And I'm glad on a mental note, we've all discussed that. Like, we can be very boisterous and just don't be afraid to ask for help.
Yeah.
And I mean, again, I had to get all my dots and connects in a row. I incorporated this week so that you could just do business the right way. And I was always running barcode, grassroots, cash, email transfer under the table, but people don't take you serious until you really take that first step. I have a really great mentor. He's a lawyer, he's a sports agent, he's an entertainment agent. It took 6 years because he let me do the work and struggle with the journey myself until you almost break down. But that's what we're about, It's
okay.
Age is the price you pay for wisdom, so it never ends.
Well, as soon as you have something coming up, my bro, you just let us know. So
we will. Key thing in everyone's life is always just a project manager or an assistant, because we can't do everything alone. But a project manager is really key.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, from Danny, what do you have coming up, my G? How can we support you, my bro?
Why you put me after Ryan, man? Don't do that. Don't put me after Ryan ever again. Ryan's out here doing everything. Get a brother on Netflix, will you? Yeah, man. No, for me, my whole thing is I really want people to kind of find that inner champion, especially us as entrepreneurs. And so I'm launching my coaching program called Speak to Impact, which is really teaching entrepreneurs like the 3 types of speeches they need to like really attract your clients and so on. So I'm launching that pretty soon, but I do have the Grind and Gratitude Show podcast. So a new episode every single Monday. And the Grind and Gratitude podcast is really just about giving people practical things that they can do right now to take control of their business and their life. And so a lot of things around mindset, how to start a side hustle, how to build connections, how to get back on track when you fall off, things like that. And I've had some amazing guests on there, like Mario Armstrong's been on, and a bunch of other really cool people too. So that's every Monday. You can check out the Grind and Gratitude Show. And then on Clubhouse, I have my own club called the Champion You Club. And man, we've had some transformational conversations. So I go live every single Tuesday at 7 p.m. with my co-host, Dr. Vibe and Lovemore, and a couple other really cool people, Nicole. And the conversations are out of bounds. They're just, people just having breakthroughs in those rooms, taking away nuggets, leaving energized, charged up, then coming back next week and telling us what they've done. So we're approaching 6 months. Every single Tuesday for the last 6 months, I've been on Clubhouse for 2 to 3 hours, giving live coaching, practical tips, sharing stories. So those are 3 ways people can support. The Speak to Impact coaching program will be out soon. Every Monday, you can catch the Grind and Gratitude Show on any podcast platform. And then on Tuesday, every single Tuesday at 7 p.m., we go in on Clubhouse and Champion You Room.
Okay, I'm gonna have to check it out. I haven't hit up Clubhouse yet. I haven't
Coach
gotten
Stone.
on board.
Yeah, man.
Coach Stone.
I know what to do.
Thanks, brother. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. That's my dude, Danny. Mahuli, let's talk to you. What do you have going on, my guy? How can we support you, my G?
I never tell people what I have going next. I have nothing going next, but I'm building a business. Call me. I'll be in touch with everybody who's on this panel. Thanks for the opportunity. I'm here building a business, man. I'm doing some promotion for some great clients, and the next couple of months you'll hear about it. That's it.
All right. I'm excited to hear about it. Absolutely. All right, Shamar, what do you have coming up, my guy? How can we support you? What are the ways that we can help you out, my bro?
For me, I mean, it just like I said, kicking on those doors, landing those bigger contracts, and getting more people like us in the doors and in those big roles of those big multi-million-dollar contracts, right? And I guess to touch on a little bit what Corin was saying, to get a project manager, because for me as an entrepreneur, like everything is on me, from the hiring to firing, collecting payments, payroll, other than a lawyer, accountant, everything is on me, right? And even to touch on what Coach Stone said, to that transition from entrepreneur to business owner, that's really something that I'm trying to do, to step away from the company, have my number two, somebody that replaces me that I can rely on, where I don't have to be there day-to-day operations and always have to be hands-on with the client or whatever. I can count on that person to be there 24/7, and I know that that person's like is my carbon copy. The work that I would do, I could put my stamp on it. They would do the same and carry it out to the same standards, right? So
that's it.
I think that's my next big step, is finding that project manager and becoming that business owner and stepping away from the entrepreneur role. And
that's what I'm saying. And yeah, we can all definitely help you, my bro. I believe everybody who received a meal tonight, you guys all got a little flyer talking about Shamar's Electricity 20 Vision. So yeah, if you know anyone out there who needs electrician work, you now have someone that you know personally that you can refer them to. You know what I mean?
And to touch back on, your vision is your vision, just to plug the company.
Hey, that's what I'm
saying. All right, I got that.
20 Vision Electric.
20 yeah, we did. I did get the card. I was wondering what that is. Are you commercial or residential?
Both. I do commercial, residential, industrial.
Man, big man, big.
Yeah, definitely hit me up.
Everything.
Definitely hit me up. I work hand in hand with some, like
master electricians that look like that. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And another thing is, funny enough, is like, I guess my ambition has changed coming up in the trade, because when I was just coming up in the trade, I just remember never seeing any inspectors that look like me. All the inspectors that came on the job, they were all white. So at some point I had the ambition where, I wanted to become an electrical inspector, get my license. You have to wait 3 years, go write the exam, become an ESA inspector. But as, like I said, time goes on, and you're just thinking, like, I want to be my own business owner. And I just think about, like, I'm not going to go become an inspector, because now I'm working for them, putting on the uniform Monday to Friday. Like, why am I going to do that? No, I'm going to run my own company, my own jobs. And when they walk into the job, they're surprised to see me, that it's a black man that has this job, and they're inspecting the job. And there's nothing they can say. Everything's done right, A to Z. And,
That's what's up. That's it. Amazing. Kevin.
Yes, sir.
My guy, what do you have going on? What's coming up for you? How can we support the brand? How can we help you, my guy?
You know what? I'm gonna be at CBC. I'm doing my thing, doing the traffic mornings and evenings. And I know I had a dream that one day that I could be doing traffic and be doing what I love to do from home. And as you can see, that's my CBC studio. That's my studio. So I got 2 studios. And if you would check me before the pandemic, I had half a studio, like, you know what I mean? So it just goes to show you. So continue to support me. You can catch me at CBC 99.1 FM in the mornings on Metro Morning, and the evenings in Here and Now. Having said that, for all the people that are out there, providing content, get at me. We're always looking for content. The only thing that I struggle with is that I'm the traffic guy down there, but I've always been an ideas guy. And I find that that CBC even as well, they're leaning on me for content and ideas to help make other people's shows better. So, I mean, if you guys got stuff going on right now, I'll put you in the hands and put you on the shows, get you interviews and get you in front of people. But I'm really wanting to hold back a little bit because I want them to give me my own show. And
absolutely,
that's that. I want to do more voiceovers and host events. So when you guys are out, talking to your people and just let them know about Kevin Carrington and let them know about what I can do and the message that I give. I continue to host events and do voiceovers. I would love to do like cartoon stuff. I would love to do some more stuff like that. But the DJs.
I forget who was watching. Not to cut you. Sorry, I forget who was watching. Somebody was watching Beef the other day. The rap.
Right.
DVD. Do you know that's Kish?
Really?
From around the world in 180 days. That are around the world 80 days. That's Kish doing the voiceover. Really? He was one of the first to break out from Toronto and just do that.
Good. I still get a lot of flack for my Pfizer and Cialis commercials that I did for Shoppers Drug Mart. People think that I used to work for, like, I used to take Pfizer and Cialis. Anyway, so again, continue to promote the stuff I'm doing. You know, I'd love to see my followers get up just so I can, you know, get my tentacles out there. But you know, I love being a parent, man. And ultimately I want to leave good residue everywhere I go, so that anybody that knows me or works with me later on in life, if they ever need any help, just the fact that they knew me and they say, you know what, I know you're Kevin's kid, or I saw you used to work with Kevin. You know, Kevin was a good dude, man. You need a hand with something? Yeah, man, come along. I'll give you a hand. And that I think would be, if I ever, after I'm gone and I look down and I see people helping other people just because they knew me or they work with me or they worked like me, or that would be one of my biggest flowers as well. So just, yeah, continue to support the stuff I'm doing. And you know, if there's anybody out there that you see that needs help, help them.
What's the strategy normally from the broadcasting side? Is it broadcasting or production? Where is the opportunity?
Both. I mean, both. There's a lot of transition that's going on in the production and like just in broadcasting right now, and a lot of the things that the people that are behind the scenes providing the content, like, you know, the writers and the producers, they look like you and me, but the people that are on air that we're making look cool and hip, they don't. CBC does a far better job. I think they'd probably do the best job outside of G and obviously of representation. But that's just it. Like, everybody knows we're the movers and shakers. We're what makes it happen. It's not cool. By the time you see it on TV and on the radio, it's already boring for us. It's already,
that's right.
That's it.
So
You know what I mean?
true.
So
CBC is legendary.
yeah. And again, to understand the landscape of CBC, no commercials. They're not bounded by advertisers. They don't have advertisers that are like, oh, I don't like Sean. I don't like Shamar. I don't like what he wore. You don't have to worry about any of that. So you have a little bit more freedom in that sense, being government funded. But at the same time, we are almost G's direct competition, because our signal is so strong, it drowns out the number one ethnic radio station. So I, as much as I appreciate the opportunity, the better my content, it's kind of hurting my community too in some aspects.
It's a double-edged sword.
Yeah,
it's a double-edged sword.
A little bit of a double-edged sword. But
we're gonna definitely support you, my guy. We got you.
Thank you.
Got you. Troy, what is up, my guy? What do you have coming up? I know you have exciting stuff going on. How can we support you? How can we help you, broski?
Troy's in deep thought over there. I'm excited to hear it, man.
You think
Man, I'm trying to like whoop my kids with my mind, like go to sleep, go to sleep.
Oh, you have an app for that?
Yeah, how do I
yeah. It's called BELT. It's called Belt. Yo, no, don't beat your kids.
No, don't
judge me. I think you're being. Don't judge me.
Don't judge me. Yo,
Troy's lit. Troy enjoyed the food, bro. You had a good time with the food.
Troy forgot he's going out.
Yeah, you know, right? Yo,
I need a refill of lemonade, by the way.
Yeah, I gotta go drink mine. Is that infused? Is that infused?
The drink was, yes, yep. Everything is infused, my bro.
Okay.
You'll be okay. You'll live. But yes, Troy, what do you have going on, my bro? What do you have going on, man?
Well, yeah, lots, and just really thankful to be in this space. I guess for me, yeah, I gotta get up at 6 a.m. to go to set. I actually got called in to work on a series tomorrow.
Okay.
And then yeah, I'm working on finishing up our a short film that we just wrote. I just got my other short film to a Montreal Black Film Festival. And then our play that we just wrote is going to be in the Atlanta Black Theater Festival in October. So this next few months for me is going to be a lot, but it's everything that I prayed for.
Is that the soap dish thing that I seen you promoting?
Yeah. So that's going to be in the Montreal Black Film Festival. And then, yeah, a play that that we wrote is by myself and my partner Sharona. It's going to be in the Atlanta Black Theater Festival in October. So yeah, man, everything I'm asking the brothers to do on this call is free. If y'all can just share the thing and like the thing, and you know, like those things go a long way. And then yeah, like if we can connect on any levels of support in the future. I've actually been talking to CBC as well too about some shows in developing, Kevin. So I'd love to follow up with you on that. You know what I mean? Idea. And then, you know, just even whatever, like you want to get into voiceover, I can maybe even give you my agent, man. She's getting a lot of voiceover work and stuff like that as well too. So, you know, they're actually it's funny, I was talking to my friend Elise, my friend Erica Shallow. She's actually works for Chorus, and one of her companies are that work for them, whatever, they do a lot of voiceovers, but for some reason they said they don't have Black people. You know what I'm saying? They don't have a lot of Black people that do voiceover work. So
and that surprises me, because I know of a lot that are, and people that want to, and I do a lot of voiceover work right now. It's just that I would, you know, I would just like to just do more. I would like to break into, you know, outside of Canada and start getting into, I need an excuse to get to BC. I'm a snowboarder, and I begged City TV to send me out there. Worst mistake, because they said, nah, you're not going nowhere.
Yo, man. Yeah, but there's, you know, there's so much room in there. I just did a video game this year. Like, it was a lot of work. I was like, damn, this is actually cool. Yeah. And you get paid a bag, man. It's, you know, legacy for our children, right? When we make money.
Having said that, getting paid, for anybody that's looking for, you know, some avenues, the Toronto District School Board, and I said it before, I said it again, it doesn't matter what you are doing, they're looking for content providers that look like us. So as long as you can tell your story, regardless of what it is, they just want to tell your story. And whether you're doing it in person or virtually, I want to know that when my kids walk into a school, or when they turn on their laptops in a virtual setting, that the people that are giving information on BIPOC communities and giving information on what the world and what the future is going to be like, I want them to know that they look like us, so that I know that the message is being delivered the right way. So if anybody needs any help getting registered with the Toronto District School Board, especially right now, it's a great opportunity for you to not only market your brand, but get it into areas where you may not have thought it would be relevant. And it's very relevant to your bank account.
Okay, for sure.
So hit me up if anybody needs any help with that. I'm down to help you.
Yo, I'd love to do that. I was actually teaching a program at Carleton, and my guy Warren, he's gone to another school in Winnipeg now. So I want to like pick that program up and bring it over here. It's just a lot of work, but yeah, man, I'd love to. Like,
that'd be great. My son graduated from Carleton. I'm going to be going out to Ottawa University in 2 weeks to kind of do a bit of a homecoming with their Caribbean Association and the BIPOC community at that school. So I'm looking forward to that. And again, you know, just to goes to show you, I mean, I worked for City TV and all these different people, and they never used to send me anywhere except to accident scenes and crash sites and, you know, shootings and stuff like that. And now here I am working for myself, and I've done more traveling in the last year in a pandemic than I did prior to that. So give thanks, man.
Crazy.
That's good.
That's good, bro. That's good. All right, Corwin, let us know. What do you have coming up? Do you have anything going on? How can we support you, my bro?
Yeah, I'm just taking it easy right now. Took a year off, did some volunteer work just to learn the systems, you know, advertising, helped a friend at an advertising agency. I'm sure every job we went to, they always just teach you to be the worker, but, you know, just being around those, teaching you how to be owners, and picking up on those things, just owning onto my own craft so I can be better, you know. So nothing in the immediate to look out for. So everything's all in-house right now.
Yes. Well, you know what I have been seeing? Oh, there's my youth. This is the man making noise there. Okay. But yo, you know what I was seeing that I really did enjoy watching you be a part of, were some of those mentor and panel discussions going on at the Toronto Library.
Yes.
Yeah,
that was another one.
I'd love to attend and just whatever.
As Kevin said, though, you know, my cousin actually took a position now to help Mayor Tory with the ABR stuff. She's the right hand. Her name's Ananaya. We're blood. So the thing is, there's conflict there. So it's not like she can just push me in with the government. But I had to go to her balcony one day and just get some wisdom. And she says, nonprofit pays often and a little bit, whereas school and corporate play big but slow. So which means your check's going to take 60, 90, 120 days, but you could actually sit for 6 months. So that's why I advise that everybody just all have your incorporation ready And it's not so much even a business plan anymore. It's just kind of like just everybody just have a brand story or a, in your case, Shamar, just a business deck. Let it do the speaking. It cuts off all the long talking, you know, let them do all their research. Make sure your keywords and your SEOs are all right. Let it come to you. Back to systemizing. It's just doing those little things, you know, little
That's
things.
actually something.
Yeah.
Building a deck is something that I want to do for the height.
I want to help you. I want to help you. And even, you know, I think, you know, even the brand, it's an amazing, amazing, amazing thing. But I'm just giving the feedback, the aesthetic and the, you know, the brand design and all that. Tweak it a bit, man. You guys are on your way. Even that first dinner you did with the veterans, can you imagine if that was a brand story right now? Do you know how far that would go?
Yeah.
I've been around a lot of these politicians, man, and I get in these rooms by accident, and these guys are all smoking weed, and they're all one of us, man. All these people making the rules and trying to do whatever, they're all one of us. They're all weed smokers at the end of the day. And Ryan knows this about me. Whether in a suit by day or in my jeans by night, I always have a spliff in my pocket, and it's a spliff that really broke a lot of conversations with these high-level people.
There you
know?
go.
And bro,
Yeah.
stop saying it's not by accident, bro.
Oh, my
It's
bad,
by
my bad.
purpose
It
that
is,
you're in
it
the
is.
room.
But it's like
I was just about to prance on him, but
you said it. You said, but Mowgli, you said like
Yeah.
you saw these things now. I saw it earlier and didn't know what it meant. You know what I mean? Like I think one of my first encounters was like meeting. I was at Queen and John and meeting Kanye. Kanye drove up and he was like, "Where can I get shoes?" And it's like, I'm like, "Goodfoot," and he's like, "Hop in," you know. And then I met like Jalen Rose, and then I met like just different people, but I didn't know what it was. You were just doing it, but you know, you didn't monetize on it. You didn't know that a business manager was a thing. You didn't know that a road manager was a thing. You're always looking to be in the front, and you didn't know that the back end played such a big role. So right now I try and mimic exactly like Steve Stout, Maverick Carter. I think I've read every single book, every single article, watched every single video that they do. And to, you know, when I was managing P Plus, I never forget, I got called by Big C at Sony. And he's like, "Can you please come back to play LeBron's party more than a game?" And I remember being at that event and seeing everybody at their prime, not even knowing who they are.
Right.
And now Spring Hill is doing one of the they probably broke the most deals out of production, out of movies, out of brands than anyone in history in this last year. And these are the same people that we're trying to emulate right now.
That's right.
And another one is the Black Godfather. Why his story hit Netflix is because his son-in-law got a position at Netflix. At that point, he became head of like Black marketing, did a movie of his dad or his father-in-law, and then started to inbound all these Black movies. That's why you're seeing all these Black movies just highlighted. So it's such a good time.
Right.
Yeah.
When I saw that movie, my first call was Corwin. I was like, "Yo, there's a movie about you on Netflix."
Did you see that movie too? It's my favorite. I watched it.
I have to go watch it now. I need.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go watch it right now.
By no way
you will think of
He is an OG.
I had to do my
movie already. You should have watched it.
Yeah, I had to do my background check. Yeah, Black Godfather.
Black Godfather. Clarence Avant. People.
He by no way just did that. Like, yes, he did it for his heart, but everybody he sent something to was his vendor partners, and that's how he got his payouts.
Wow. Okay.
Steve Stout too. Steve Stout left the music and then went into the partnership brand side, and he still doesn't even give you his blueprint. But that's all it is. He's just re-strategizing and putting Black people first and all these things. He's the reason for the State Farm commercial being Black. The McDonald's, I'm loving it. It was like Pusha T wrote it, but like Justin Timberlake sang it, and those royalties are still going. And Pusha T took that just like that one payoff. Yeah. But it was just having that ability to have someone like broker those things and just have that vision of it. So like I said, we're all in the right rooms doing the right things, but it's like, I think the one thing that will probably holding us back is that one thing that we don't have. And
I would love to host a concert at the Air Canada Center. I think that for me would be validation, where I'm at Air Canada Center, a place where I spend big money, and now they're ushering me in underground parking. And I've kind of done a bit of that from the media side and from the corporate side at Air Canada Center. But I've never been the headline. I would love to be the.
It's doable.
We'll,
You know,
we'll see. We'll see.
like
I know it's coming, but I just can't wait the day when you guys are like, yeah, man, Kev, jeez, yo.
I mean, if you understand the brand partnership part, Kevin Hart's whole brand is sponsored by JP Morgan Chase Bank. So he runs by day with Nike, and his night when he's on stage, it's JP Morgan Chase Bank. And by day, he doesn't advertise it, but he does a financial literacy course every tour date he does.
Okay.
And then the escrow account pays for the tour. So if you look at all the greats, all their management are all bank people. So Kevin Durant's manager, bank. Beyonce's manager, bank. Jay-Z's manager, bank. So they understand the financial side. They were able to get the loans to do these things and then elevate the brand, amplify the person, amplify the partnerships. Yeah. Look at the rooms that all these guys are in now. It's rooms that they would have never been in.
Okay. Well, my guys, I am absolutely glad to have been in this room with y'all. I have come away from tonight much better than when I entered, and that was truly, truly the goal. When we get this rebroadcasted, I think a lot of people are going to get a lot of value from this. So feel good in the fact that we have all helped a lot of people tonight, not just ourselves, you know what I'm saying? But I definitely feel a lot better just amongst these people in this room, because I feel all of our bonds are stronger. I'm benefited to know all of you guys, but now all of you guys know each other. So I am super glad to have that happen. And I think some amazing things are going to come from tonight. And I would love to do this again in some format. I would love to do this again live so I can actually talk to you guys and be with you in the same room. I don't think that's impossible. I think that's something we can have happen. But again, tonight was incredible. Again, I feel so enlightened. Just like Troy was saying, my mind, my stomach, my body, everything is full. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of information tonight. So thank you so much, everybody, for taking the time out of your busy schedule, spending time for us tonight. I really do think that it will benefit everybody for the better. You know what I'm saying? So thank you again, everybody, so much for joining us tonight. I cannot wait to look forward to this next day now with all of this information and all of this inspiration. Tomorrow is a much brighter thing for me now. And I thank you guys for that. I cannot love you guys enough. You know what I'm saying? Thank you again, broskies.
Thanks for having us, man. And Alfred, thanks for that. Thanks for that good food. It's yummy.
Yeah, man.
You guys enjoyed the food? Was the food good? You guys,
it was good, man. Yeah, Alfred, brother, good job.
What was your champion of the night? What was your champion of the night? What was your favorite
sandwich, guy?
Oh, I love
the sandwich is nice, man.
Sandwich, brother.
Yeah, I'm gonna have that drink shortly.
You know what? For me, it was twice as nice for me because the food was dope. I'm not really a brisket guy, but to get the opportunity, just like clothes, sometimes when people who know what you're into and sometimes they envision stuff and they see things that you would like or that you would be successful at. I felt that sandwich was one of them. Secondly, I've been so busy. I love to cook, and I honestly haven't cooked anything probably for about 16 weeks because I've been on double shifts, and then in between the double shifts, I'm doing 1, 2, sometimes 3 cardio classes back to back to back. So hence why I'm so MAGA, and hence why I don't get a chance to cook as much as I want to. So to be able to sit down, that's why I found myself recording it. It was like porn for me because I was like, I'm cooking. So check your WhatsApp. I sent out a couple of pictures of the videos and stuff. But yeah, that was it for me. I love the sandwich. The lemonada was great, and just the opportunity to cook and be working. It was great.
For me, it was it was the sufganiyat. It was that jelly donut, bro. The 3 seconds that it lasted were absolute heaven. So that for me.
I couldn't hear you. I didn't donut. What did you say? The donut was my air.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. But yeah, man, again, guys, thank you so much for joining us tonight. You know what I'm saying? It's amazing. We're going to have this video put out soon so that you guys can share it amongst your people. Because again, like I said, I think we really talked about some incredible stuff tonight. So I am absolutely floored with the amazing conversation we had today. And I really think I'm going to take a lot of this with me longer than just tomorrow. Some of these things that I heard and listened to tonight, they're going to go with me for a long time. So thank you guys so much for that, yo. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Chef Alfred, for making, again, that amazing food.
Yes, Chef.
DJ Yorkie, thank you again for coming through with the tunes. I think you can come through with the tunes again anytime soon. I am deading myself for a smoke right now. But again, thank you everybody for joining us for this episode of the Heightened Chef. Shalom from the deli. You're gonna catch us on our next episode. Please help and support and spread the good word. What's the date for our next episode, Alfred? It is September the
24? No, 25th, I think.
The 25th?
Let me confirm that.
Yeah, I can go through. But our next episode, we are doing Middle Eastern cuisine. So that episode, 1001 Arabian Nights. And
All right.
yeah, 1001 Arabian Nights. That's what we're doing next episode. It's going to be lit. It's going to be live. Middle Eastern.
Will there be lemonada?
You want more lemonada? Okay, we're sending it to your house. Okay, we'll send a pipeline.
If you say so, for research purposes, I want to make sure when I talk about this on Monday that I know what I'm talking about, and I just
we'll set you up.
Hold on. Is the donut infused too? I just want to make sure.
I hope so. I licked my styrofoam. I hope it is.
Sauce.
Just the sauce.
It's not just the sauce.
Sauce.
So you can yam the donut. Yam the donut. It's beautiful.
Trying to get any more sauce.
I just want to get home safe, you know?
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Well, yo, gentlemen, thank you again so much for joining us.
Blessings.
Again, I'm blessed to have you guys as a circle of friends. I am so glad that I was able to form the Black Justice League tonight. So thank you, my guys. Blessings on blessings.
Love it.
Hey, Coach Stone, I need to borrow that hat for my next event, man.
Yeah, brother. Yeah, man.
Yeah, I need that. That's slick, dog.
Thanks, bro. Thanks.
All right, y'all.
All right, fellas. Take care.
Have a good one, everybody.
This is my
Stay
love.
safe.
Good night. Appreciate you guys.
Bless up, everybody.
Scotch in the bitch, you can call me that though shacky nigga. Philippa teeth on the wrist, long arms, and this water I'm a will. Move a bird like Purdue, fishing the third grade.